What happens when one of music's most powerful moguls is officially branded a batterer and dangerous? Will Sean Diddy Combs walk free on time served or face serious federal prison time? The answer may hinge on a surprising courtroom twist. Judge Subramanian has asked both sides to dig up comparable Mann Act cases. By the end of this video, you'll see why time served is almost impossible, even for Diddy. From racketeering and sex trafficking to weapons and conspiracy, the government brought 5 sweeping federal charges against Diddy. But it was 2 counts under the Mann Act, transporting someone across state lines for immoral purposes, that stuck. Under federal law, each count carries up to 10 years behind bars, and though sentencing guidelines suggest roughly 4 to 5 years total, Diddy's lack of any prior criminal history usually would tilt the scales toward leniency. Yet here, it may barely register. When the jury read its verdict, social media exploded. Diddy goons flooded timelines, convinced he'd beat even the Mann Act counts. Yet the reality hit harder. 2 federal convictions meant Diddy was suddenly on par with serious offenders, not superstar icons. Fans who joked he'd waltz out on time served now faced the sobering truth that a federal conviction isn't a slap on the wrist, it's a life-altering sentence. In a post-trial hearing, Judge Arun Subramanian made his stance crystal clear. He called Diddy violent, a batterer with a pattern of violence that erupts suddenly, quickly, and without warning. He denied bail outright, warning that Diddy's extensive community ties and vast resources made him a threat, not a candidate for freedom. Victim letters poured in, detailing chilling accounts of control and intimidation. For the first time, the full weight of those testimonies was laid bare, and it wasn't pretty. If you've ever wondered why a judge would request case law on similar offenses, there are 3 possible reasons: judicial cover, testing boundaries, and sentencing justification. By compiling precedents, the judge shields the court from bias claims, making any decision look grounded in objective research. Testing boundaries lets him probe how lenient or harsh a sentence can be without triggering an appeal. Whether he opts for prison or probation, the precedent file builds a legal roadmap to back that choice in writing. Here's the thing, though. None of these reasons guarantee mercy. In fact, in Diddy's case, they all point one way: locking in a substantial custodial sentence. Under federal guidelines, 2 Mann Act counts usually translate to about 51 to 63 months behind bars. Prosecutors have quietly signaled they'll push for 4 to 5 years. Diddy's defense argues for 18 to 21 months, or even just time served, citing his lack of criminal history and charitable work. But ask any seasoned attorney, and they'll tell you parole or probation in a high-visibility case like this is a pipe dream. The judge's own words, branding Diddy dangerous and highlighting his consciousness of guilt after enrolling in a pre-sentencing batterers program, shut the door on leniency. Even the Department of Justice, mindful of public outrage and future victims, is unlikely to support a light sentence. All signs point to significant prison time for Sean Diddy Combs. Unless an extraordinary piece of evidence emerges, that request for comparable Mann Act cases isn't a lifeline. It's the judge cementing a firm sentence. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think any legal maneuver could still save Diddy from years behind bars? Or is this outcome set in stone? Drop your theories in the comments below. Let's talk it out.